Key, you've been on this for a while, but do you think that Jalen Hurts, does he not get enough respect?
He doesn't. He doesn't get respect. It feels like he gets constantly disrespected. And I've been going all the way back since his rookie year when I wasn't working with you guys and I was at the other network, having the same type of conversation because I understand it. I get it. You are typecast about who you are, what you are when you come into certain leagues, right? That's the way they are. Where you were projected, where you got drafted, if you start immediately, all of those sort of things. So let's just start off by saying the guy as a full-time starter, ever since he took over, has gone to the playoffs every single year to the point that he's even gotten to the Super Bowl. He finished second in the MVP voting. They cashed him out a year ago, gave him the check, and said, you're our guy moving forward. They stumbled last year. Whatever that was, he was hurt half the time. There's other issues that was going on within the team. They had to clean out the coaches' offices and get some new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator in. It's a different team, different situation. I've been in dealing with the NFL for a very long time, both as a player and an analyst on television. You will hear people say, he's not fast. Well, the dude just went 70. What the hell do you mean he ain't fast?
Right.
Or
he can't run.
He can't run. I remember, and this is, you probably, because you was just a pup. I remember when we used to scout your brother and play against him and say, well, we can run at him. What do you mean? He just stuffed the people in the backyard for a loss of 2. How the hell you gonna say we can run at him? Well, he's just a pass rusher. These are the things. So what happens is it lives with you. People will not let certain things go.
Right.
Yeah.
They said about Jalen Hurts, 11 to 19. Yeah, he's 11 to 19. I take that all day long, and 120 yards and a touchdown, and my running back just went for $150, and we won. We beat up on a team that was an AFC Championship game a year ago. I take that and run with it. It's some of the craziest stuff, and here's how I finish. So I used to do this with Lamar Jackson, and I'll do it again. If Tom Brady gave you 4,000 yards passing and 25 touchdowns, you take that and go, wow.
Sure.
If Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts gave you 2,000 on the ground, 2,000 in the air, and 25 touchdowns, what's the difference? You still finishing, you still winning
I have
games.
a philosophy on this.
Yeah.
I do not believe that we, as an NFL-watching society, as analysts, as fans, and sometimes as coaches or personnel, have been able to adjust completely to the modern version of the quarterback. We want a quarterback to be able to run, but not too much. We want to be able to throw, but don't be a gunslinger and be inefficient. We want him to be able to be mobile. You can't be a statue in the pocket anymore, but again, don't default to your athleticism. It is this combination of things that we haven't been able to define, and Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson fall into this category quite a bit when they get labeled as athletic running quarterbacks, even though they obviously can throw the ball, even though you can obviously look at the statistics, even though the connection with A.J. Brown is a very real thing, and A.J. Brown is a wide receiver who he is throwing the ball to. We haven't figured out how to define this type of quarterback yet. And so it's like this energy that they carry with them that they're not quite as good, or they're a different type of quarterback than the quarterbacks who are putting up the same numbers while they are combining numbers and getting the same numbers. It's not the way that we want it to look quite yet. We haven't adjusted yet.
Well, they need to adjust.
I agree, but also, I think that's why it's happening.
Also, in these two situations that you guys are mentioning, the brain has been stained in different ways. Now, okay, Jalen Hurts, as much as we want to admire and look at and say, wow, what a job he's done in preparing himself and getting himself to the position he has himself in now, my brain is still stained. You had to lead a game, and Tua came in and whoop, won that championship. Same thing that we talked about Jared Goff. Wait, listen to me. Same thing that we talked about Jared Goff had to do when he left Hollywood. Your brain was stained because Matthew Stafford came in and won a Super Bowl that next year. So you got, your brain is stained. Okay. Now, you came in the league basically as a running back saying, I want to earn it. Him both. And then Lamar Jackson even mentioned it. Well, running back, I know y'all were running back. Yeah, we want, I think the credit he gets is about right where it is. Right where it is. And I know, but the numbers are telling you the truth, too. I know. Let me just say this now. Now, when they went last year, 10-1, through that time, whenever they rushed the ball close to the pass attempts, whenever they rush the ball more than they throw the ball, they win football games. Mm-hmm. Whenever they throw the ball more than they run the ball, they have trouble winning football games. You know, the 1-6, they were throwing the ball, running 25 times a game, 34 times, and throwing it 34 times a game. They went 1-6. This year they're throwing it 25 times a game, running it 36 times a game, and they're winning football games.
But is that an indictment of Jalen Hurts or smart football?
Well, it's not an indictment at all. It's not an indictment.
You just made it an indictment.
No, it's a reality. It's a reality.
Because you just sat there and told me.
No, I'm saying it right here. I'm saying this right here. When you're 1-6, you were throwing more than you were running.
Yes.
And right now, in 2024, when you're winning, you're running more than you're throwing. That's not an indictment. That's just reality.
Yeah,
that's reality.
That is reality. But what I would say to that, though, Michael, I can go right now without even looking.
Right.
During our break, and I can have our guys pull up those same numbers for other teams and other quarterbacks that throw the ball a lot and lose, opposed to when they running the ball and doing what they say. We say the recipe. Right. The recipe is to cut down on throwing and running the football.
Correct. And cut down on turnovers and all of those things.
That's a recipe.
Right. But I'm not. What I'm saying, he got the money. I think he's right where he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm just saying.
What kind of respect?
I think he's a great quarterback.
He's in the second tier.
He's a great quarterback.
He gets slighted to some degree from people that's
to their demise,
because he set the bar. He set a certain bar. Think about this. He was second in the MVP a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then what happened last year? He went 10-1, got hurt. So this year we want to see him get back to that bar. And check this out. I'm looking at your list, Key. You got the Eagles. Okay. Lions, Bills, Chiefs, and Steelers. The quarterback you would say is the best player on the team, right? He's not even the best player on his team right now. So exactly. So what do you want us to give him?
Right.
They're winning because of someone else.
But I have also seen him win while he was the best player.
And he hasn't got back to that level.
Here's my issue. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying to them, because we're having these conversations, and the issue becomes, I saw it with Donovan McNabb. I'm telling y'all, I saw it with Donovan McNabb. I question it even this year right now with Lamar Jackson. I'm telling you, do what you do. I think he gets enough credit. He's got his money. Yeah. He's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But what happened, we have these conversations, and these guys are trying to prove to the world that there's something else, and they stay in the pocket too long sometimes instead of using that athletic ability that you were talking about, Joy, because they're trying to prove to everybody, I can be a pocket passer. I'm with you, Key. I used to look at Tom Brady. He couldn't move a lick. I said if he had anybody's legs, he would love to run out that pocket. But he can't run out that pocket.
But the thing is, when you look at the numbers,
do what you do.
When you look at the numbers this year, his numbers are almost identical to Josh Allen.
Exactly.
Like, almost identical.
Exactly. Yeah. And I didn't even need to pull that card up that you did because I can see it watching the damn games. Yeah. Because they have the same completion percentage.
Jalen Hurts is 68 and Allen is 64.
That's the same.
They have the same total yards per game, 248, 252.
That's the same.
And I'm not making a case either way or the other, but I just want to state a statement here. Now, remember, coming in, and I'm going to say it again, distance travel. Now, he had everybody, and Buffalo was looking for everybody. They had nobody. They was losing bodies. So when you measure his numbers, measure them accordingly.
And everyone thinks that Josh Allen
Buffalo was out of it.
Most people think Josh Allen is better
and he's raised the level.
He's raised the level. But I've also seen Jalen Hurts do that as well. I don't know that he deserves more credit or more respect. I think he just deserves the level of respect for the numbers that he puts up from what he's been able to do and what he's doing this year. And he kind of just gets overlooked. And Saquon this year is obviously a big part of that. When you have somebody having a season like that, you got to give them their shine. I don't care about what happened in college, though, I'll be honest with you.
But still, you don't. And he don't.
No, I do.
But they do.
They do.
Because they mention it.
No,
that's
exactly. I do because, as I said before, it's how you come into the league. If you come into the league as something that they saw in college, and they'll say, Well, Tua took his job.
Right.
Well, Tua really didn't take his job. The coach
Right,
made
but
the
now,
damn
but
decision
okay, but now,
to go with
would you
somebody
rather
else.
have Tua or would you rather have Jalen Hurts right now?
I'd rather have Jalen Hurts.
Like Jalen Hurts
But I've always
has had a much more successful career.
Right,
than Tua.
right.
I mean, I think they're.
I'd rather have Jalen Hurts.
But me too. I think they're on both too.
they're the
But
same.
what I'm saying he's reversing the stain. It's not a bad thing. The stain was somebody came in, took your job, and won the championship. But he said,
He didn't take the one pass. Man, y'all need to stop, man. Because then it's going to turn into Tua hate for me.
I understand
Because
the
I don't
particulars.
want people sitting there saying this about this kid, that he took his job. Nick Saban made a decision at halftime that we're going with another guy because our offense was struggling, and he hit Devontae Smith on a blown coverage where he ran past him, and he pulled the trigger, and it was a touchdown. Michael?
Well, let's talk
and
about
then what
Nick
did he do? Then
Saban's
he left, and then he left, and who
I
stayed?
won. It's over.
Who left? He left, and Tua stayed.
But
So Tua
you see what I'm
took
saying?
the job. Am I not
you
right?
see what I'm saying?
Wait, Paul.
Right.
If it was only one play, and then they went back, then it would have been he didn't take his job. But he had to leave and go to another school. He said, "Get your bags and get out."
Michael, he did not leave.
Jalen Hurts. I'm
he
just
did
saying.
not leave, Michael, for the record. He stayed. And when Tua got hurt, he came in and did the exact same thing Tua did.
So he did took his job.
He didn't. Nick
So
made
he
a
was
decision.
on the bench. You just said he came in.
Nick made a decision.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.